joined now by nationally ranked and right now that ACC conference with Rhett Lashlee, the head coach at SMU, who joins us on 365 Sports. Thank you very much. Will you sit down or do you watch the standings show, or is that just something eventually people will tell you?
Yeah, I won't sit down and watch it. I watched it last week because we were on a bye week, but we're still working hard to get ready for this week. So someone will either tell me or it'll pop up on my phone or whatnot here in a little bit. But at the end of the day, we got to keep winning for it to matter.
Yeah, and that's obvious there. How do you keep it from being a distraction, or is it something you should embrace and enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. It's that's the challenge. I mean, look, on one hand, our guys need to, be appreciative of what they've accomplished and put themselves in this position. So, but we've got to stay present in the moment, and we can't let it be a distraction. We can't let ourselves get too far ahead of ourselves or get caught up in all of the excitement. We've got to find a way to have the mental toughness to kind of do what we've done the last 6 or 7 weeks, which has allowed us to get to where we are. And we've done a really good job of focusing on this week, focusing on playing to our standard, even more so than our opponent. We respect all of our opponents, but we've worried about us. Our guys have been really mature about it. It's hard to do that. You hear coaches say it all the time. People call it coach speak. Well, it's what we're supposed to do, but it's hard. And we're doing our best to be ready to go this Saturday.
How much do you watch what's going on? Like, do you have to watch what's going on around the league, or do you have to just know it, put it in a corner, lock it up for the week, and then wait to see what happens, in 3 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of all the options out there. I mean, our guys are on social media all the time now, so I'm sure they have an idea, but we don't talk about it internally. We talk about what do we got to do to win this week. And, we're starting the fourth quarter of our season. We got 3 games left in the fourth quarter, and this is the first one. And we've won the first quarter of our season. We swept the second and third quarter. We need to go 1-0 this week in the fourth quarter of our season. If we keep winning, if we can keep our head down and keep playing good football, we got 3 teams that have winning records to finish the season, then we'll like the end result. But if we don't, we won't. And so, that's the challenge, and our guys have done good to this point, and we're going to have to continue to.
Coach, can you speak to what Brashard Smith has meant to this team? He's having an absolutely, sensational year so far, putting up a lot of big numbers consistently every week, it seems like. I know you guys got him out of the portal from Miami, but just can you go into the connection there and just what he's meant to this team?
Yeah, it's been huge for us. I mean, he's averaging over 120 all-purpose yards, I think. We haven't gotten a lot of kick return opportunities. He had a few good ones early in the year, but running the football, a pass catcher out of the backfield. I mean, you go back to our Florida State game, we motioned him out of the backfield, matched him up on one of their guys and hit a double move down the field. He's a weapon. He's really good in space. But to your point, he's really helped our run game. And I think a lot of our success has been because we've done a good job of stopping the run and running the football. Even though we like to throw it a lot and play fast, and even though we like to rush the passer, we've tried to buy into the fact that in a power conference, you got to run the ball and stop the run, win the explosive plays in the turnover battle. And our guys have done a good job of that. And Brashard's been a huge deal because, look, you got to have tackle breakers and touchdown makers, and he's been that for us.
Rhett, what do you do during the off week? Is anything particular, any story you want to share with us other than maybe try to self-scout yourself or just decompress?
Yeah, I mean, during the week, we're working pretty hard, and Thursday and Friday, we recruited quite a bit. It was really good for our players to get a chance to rest and recharge, especially this late in the year. It's a physical season. For me, Saturday was really the one day I got a chance to not be stressed and watch other people suffer a little bit. And, they got to worry about 3rd and 10 and winning a game. And I knew I had another week before I was going to be in that situation again. But, Saturday I spent a lot of time with my girls, actually. My boys are 14, so they got friends and buddies, and they're off doing whatever. I watched a little ball with them, but I got up, took the girls to get donuts. We rode bikes. I got to admit it, even after lunch, I took them to get their nails done. Don't worry, I didn't get my nails done.
No shame in it, Coach. No shame in it.
I got clear color here. But, and then that night was able to spend a little time with my wife. So the ladies in my family controlled my Saturday, and that was just fine with me.
Coach, Kevin Jennings stepped in this year. He'd started before, but he wasn't the starter when the season started. We had him on. He's one of the most clear-headed leaders you can kind of see. You can see that from him. What enables a guy in the modern era to stick with a program, knowing that he can just go anywhere whenever he wants, knowing that he is not necessarily going to be the starter like that? Like, how much buy-in do you have to have from a kid like Kevin Jennings who gave that to you?
Oh man, a ton. And it's refreshing when guys do that this day and age. But to come in and true freshman, he actually played a little bit for us, and then to be the backup as a redshirt freshman and not play all the way till the conference championship game and then do really well. And then to come into the next season not knowing, he's always wanted to be in Dallas. He's wanted to be at SMU. He loves this city. There's nowhere else he'd rather be. Those are his words, not mine. But he wants to play like everybody else. And so, I think the biggest thing was after last season, he kind of, he got everybody's attention by how he played in the championship game against Tulane. And there was a lot of people who definitely wanted him, but he wanted to be here, and he just wanted to know that he was going to have a chance to compete. And that's what we do in our program. He had a chance, but he still stayed patient. And, when he got his chance after week 3, he just really never looked back.
Coach, I believe that there are 2 teams in America that have 4 wins against Power 4 bowl-eligible teams: Alabama and your Mustangs. That's high. That's high company. I know you guys are having a great run, but do you feel like that people understand truly who you've played and who the loss to BYU, they're unbeaten, and who you've been this year?
Yeah, I don't know. I think overall we've gotten pretty good respect. I think people have respected the body of work our team's done and the streak we've been on lately, and even the initial rankings. We got decent respect. Look, your top 15, it's a hard job for the committee when they start looking at this team versus that team, and when they beat a team it was this good of a win and later it was like, all those things are tough. To your point though, we have beaten as many teams that are bowl eligible as anybody in the top 16, us and Alabama. We've controlled what we can control. I think the biggest thing is the conference piece has to get, there can't be the bias of the conferences. Like, it can't be that, well, if an average Arkansas team beats Tennessee, or South Carolina beats A&M, or Vanderbilt beats Alabama, or those kind of Kentucky beats Ole Miss, that means that league's strong. But then when Georgia Tech beats Miami or Louisville beats Clemson, now our league's weak. That doesn't make sense. So either you got a good league that's competitive like I believe we do, or you don't. And so as far as SMU's concerned, we got to keep winning or it's not going to matter.
Right.
So I'm not opining for us, and I'm not even like, I think there's 4 really good leagues, and there's a lot of teams that are deserving and a lot of teams that deserve to be in there. But when you see not the SEC, but you see another league that has like almost guaranteed 4 teams, 2 of them haven't even beat a ranked team yet. You may go undefeated in conference play and have to win your conference championship to get in if you're in the ACC or the Big 12. I don't understand that. And so it needs to make sense. But I'm a firm believer if we do our part and win, that we'll make it make sense.
Coach, it's very refreshing to hear a coach say that. And there's a lot of feeling that, we can't make it about what happened in 1995 because this team had 10 great years in a row in the 90s and they're back, or this. It has to be about what happened from when the season kicked off on August 24th until the season ends. That's the only thing that matters, because you guys have some history back in the 80s you could pull out if you've got those points to play, right? But nobody does. It's not a fair scale at all.
Yeah. I don't think there's any intentional brand bias, but there is. But at the same time, you could argue some of those programs have earned that. You know what I mean? By their resume and their history and tradition. So, look, we're trying to get into that stage of our program again. And look, if we can consistently win over several years, maybe we'll get that benefit someday. But right now, I know this. We're in the conversation. We're going to be playing in middle of November with an opportunity to continue to compete, to play for an ACC championship. And if we take care of our part, then we have control over it. And that's really what we have to focus on. And the rankings should take care of themselves.
Last thing for you, and we appreciate your time, Rhett. Always, we've had you on a lot. You've always been accessible to us. BYU got you early in the year. Did you realize then that they might be who they are this late in the season?
I don't know. I got a lot of respect for Kalani. I knew they were good. They were better after we played them, particularly on defense, than we thought. We knew they were solid on offense going in. Our defense played great that day. But offensively, we turned the ball over and we beat ourselves, and we didn't really have an identity yet. We weren't settled like we have been since then. But I was impressed with their team speed, particularly on defense. They got a couple of linebackers that are really good. They're big. They're physical. I was probably so caught up in fixing us.
Yeah.
we were not in a good place that I didn't stop and think about them that much. But I was impressed with them. And, on one hand, it makes you feel better. No, okay, that was a good football team we played that day to a 3-point game and feel like we kind of lost the game more than anything. At the same time, it kind of ticks you off more because it's a really good football team we had a chance to beat and didn't do it. But, man, I hope they keep winning. And, shoot, if we keep winning, maybe we get another shot at them.
Yeah, if they keep winning, it's good for you and opportunity for you to have that. Good luck with Boston College this weekend. Thank you very much. I know things are lit up right there. Good luck. Thank Rhett. Appreciate your time, and congratulations so far with much more and bigger fish to fry.
Thanks, guys. Always appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. That's Rhett Lashlee, head coach at SMU. 2:30 kick against Boston College.